Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, checking in on the cryptocurrency space. So patience paid off in the sense of waiting on the 4-hour time frame to either change the trend or get to oversold conditions before I was interested in getting in for the daily higher low to form. So with the dump today, the 4-hour RSI is just getting oversold. I am just getting some orders filled, and we will take it from there as far as how I protect my position. We'll go into that a little bit. Not exactly sure yet. We have to see how the bounce plays out. But essentially, in my opinion, this is still correlated to markets overall. The reason I say that is the S&P 500 today is one of the most notable short squeezes on a short-term time frame that I've seen in the S&P 500. That doesn't normally happen on the 5-minute chart. It normally happens played out along multiple days. So in this instance, we had news come out about potential progress with China and the US. The US backed off of some of the tariffs and delayed increasing them a bit. And that ended up in a huge spike out of nowhere. You're not going to see the S&P 500 start the day red and end up going plus 2% at the high of the day very often. So as soon as that happened, not as soon as that happened at about 9:30. And then the pressure really started getting on the shorts at about 10 o'clock. Bitcoin weakness, it was already there. We were already consolidating. But in terms of when the weakness started picking up, here's 9 o'clock and here's 10 o'clock. And again, if you just overlay the S&P 500, it's not a direct tick-for-tick correlation, but in my opinion, the flush of Bitcoin is related to the market strength to a certain degree. And if we were going to look at gold, what did gold do during that same period in time? Gold dumped. So there's the dump in gold, 9:30 down towards 10 o'clock, and the Bitcoin dump, 9:30 down towards 10 o'clock. So in my opinion, Bitcoin and gold definitely feeling some correlation, and that correlation is definitely inverse to Bitcoin or to the S&P 500. In my opinion, there's no doubt about that. Again, my job is literally sitting here and watching markets all day. I watch SPY tick for tick. I watch Bitcoin. I watch gold tick for tick. I've been trading bull miners all this week. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So from here on out, we are still looking for a daily higher low to form. Bitcoin did not establish support on the way up. They got a bit overextended. The size of the pullback at this point, now that we are losing the exponential supports, increases the odds that an equilibrium will be our most likely scenario. Wherever we find bottom, we're going to look for a bounce and a lower high on the daily, and we're going to look for a tightening range probably into the end of August. We will need a 4-hour trend change to indicate the daily higher low has been established. And as long as we just keep setting 4-hour lower highs, anything under 11,456 is just a 4-hour lower high. So as long as we're setting those 4-hour lower highs, we don't have a trend change yet. If the bulls are going to have to change, or going to change this 4-hour trend into the end of this week, we're going to have to look at something like this heading into this weekend. So my plans got filled on some initial positions. I do have some positions down in the mid 10,000 range that have not filled at this point. If we were to see a V-shaped recovery and bounce back over 11,000, I would probably scale out some of my position and then stick a stop loss at break even and hope that that is our bottom. If not, I'm perfectly fine continuing to fill positions looking for the daily higher low to form. The hourly RSI got absolutely crushed almost to single digits, and it's cooling off a little bit right now, but it's still at 15. So I'm being very patient, and my most recent fill was 10,789. So again, I'm going to manage this position and hope that we can change the 4-hour trend, but I'm not just going to hold if we keep dropping all the way down towards 10,000. I would look to exit some and then reestablish a game plan. So what this bounce looks like will determine how I maneuver things. But again, broader perspective, what I'm looking to do is get into a position to look for at least a couple day bounce for that daily lower high to be set. Checking in on Ethereum, bulls are fending off the bear flag confirmation at this point. 238 was support, and we bounced off of 202.80, and now the bulls have to break 216.58 to shift this short-term momentum. So that's the range, 238 to 216.58. Still daily exponential resistance, and this is what's saving things. The fact that the ETH BTC bounce is continuing helped the Ethereum bulls hold that low, and now, again, we're still watching at anything on this pairing Anything under 22 is just a lower high. But this is now creating more space for the bulls to work with to potentially be able to change this trend further down the road. So more space, meaning the odds start to shift a little bit that the bulls could form a daily high or low when this move does top out. Let's see how we react to exponential resistance, which has been containing the price for months. Litecoin's the same story. High or low trying to form. Bulls have to break 91.35 to change momentum. And the LTZ BTC chart, while weaker than the ETH BTC chart, is still staying alive. Short-term resistance is 804. And again, I would consider anything under 998 just a daily lower high. Trend change needed on both the US dollar and Bitcoin pairing charts for us to believe that momentum has shifted. XRP, daily high or low trying to form, have to get over exponential resistances. Still 332. Anything under that's just a lower high on the daily. This bounce is very weak at this point, and bulls are just trying to hold on to support. So daily exponential resistances have to become support. We have to change daily trends. Otherwise, just not interested as a bull. BTC tightening range. We are watching it on the 12-hour time frame. And it's a clear equilibrium on the 12-hour chart. High, low, lower high. 2903 is a must hold. Let's see if there's a bottom fishing playoff of 2903, because if the bulls can hold 29, we'll then look for a bounce and another lower high compared to 3059, but that will mean the bulls stay in this tightening channel. Otherwise, if that breaks convincingly, we lose the daily uptrend, which means zoom out to the weekly chart, and we would then be looking at our recent lows if we lose that daily uptrend. So bulls really want to hold $29 to keep the higher low pattern in their favor. Link USD, also a daily tightening range. Low, high, higher low, lower high. Bulls are trying for this higher low at 241. And if they can see a break of 248, that will be a notable shift in momentum for the first time in a long time. And look at the cross of the 12 and 26 period. It would cross bullish if we were able to get over 248 convincingly. And then we would be looking back at the recent highs in the 270s and 280s. So link bulls are, excuse me, link bulls are standing out. Question is, can they get the little push needed for that short-term resistance break? Binance, nice 12-hour equilibrium to be watching. Potential bottom fishing playoff support. XRP still weak, watching the daily exponential resistance. Litecoin and Ethereum watching both pairings. Watching the daily downtrend still intact, but noting that Ethereum standing out a bit stronger than Litecoin. It's been a while since that has happened. Keeping an eye on SPY and gold as always. And again, Bitcoin oversold bounce play underway. We're going to be watching, we're going to play the zoom out game. 15-minute exponential resistances. If we get over them, we'll look at the hourly exponential resistances. And then we'll look to the 4-hour exponential resistances if the bounce gets any meaningful follow through. So, that's my game plan. What's your game plan? Post in the comments. And we'll check back in tomorrow and see if this bounce gets underway. Again, if we drop down to lower lows, just the fact that I'm only now starting to get filled, I initiated a starter position under 11,000, got another fill in the 10,700s. So I'm perfectly fine if we see another leg down and my orders 10,600s, 10,500s, if they fill, that's great. Because again, 4-hour RSI will be pretty extreme. The hourly RSI will likely still be beat up if we see another leg down. And that's when I personally am comfortable scaling in to a position. Oh geez, the mic's been in the picture the whole time. So I appreciate you watching. We're going to go back to Iceland here at the end of the video. No, I'm not in Iceland. This is from, I forget how long ago I was there. Maybe a year ago? Less than a year ago? 10 months? 9 months? Something like that. Do good things out there. We'll check back in and see how this bounce plays out. Protect your trades.